Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Good day, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. It's time for the semi-finals of the BJ Destruction Team League. I am muted on Discord, so that doesn't help. Hello there. Today I do have a co-commentator for the first time of this tournament, the first time of this league. I am joined today by Potato Pleb, our resident Korean expert. How are you?
Hello. Don't knock out everything.
I just literally knocked down everything. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. You?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're going to have some really, really cool games today. We get a repeat of yesterday, which should be really, really wicked, between Team Maru and Team herO. Now, you're Korean, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Do you know the actual team names?
Yes. Today, Team Maru is 세옹지마, and it doesn't really have much meaning.
Okay.
And herO's team is 토스의 판타지, which means tosses fantasy, the tosses dream, essentially. Yeah, which is pretty,
Especially,
very tossy.
They're all Protoss plus fantasy, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, tosses fantasy.
That's good. That's really, really good. That's a smart name. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
It is.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. This is going to be some really good series. Team Maru have underachieved all season, I think it's fair to say. They scraped into this semi-finals match.
Yeah, that is true. Their win-loss ratio is similar, exactly the same as the other team. However, the only reason why they're here in the semifinal is because of the score, the match points they have.
They, by one map, they managed to sneak their way in, although Team Liquid apparently can't do maths because it says 10-13 is -4. Not quite sure about that one. Team herO have been considerably better. They are 3-1 in the regular season with a +4 map score. Also, no, that does make sense this time. They did the maths right. And they did. Yep. Team herO did beat Team Maru 24 hours ago. So Team Maru have to do something a bit different. Now, I don't think you can ever underestimate Maru innovation, rogue, and creator.
Right.
4 of the best players in the world. But there's a lot of Protoss on the other side. And that's the best race in the world. No, I can't say that.
Yeah. No, it is the best race.
It is the best race. Most definitely.
Yeah. I think Protoss is very strong right now. At least right now. In GSL, we see 3 Protoss being very strong. Apparently, Innovation did indeed beat herO and cut off his win streak. So it seems like Innovation is on his form.
Yeah, Innovation just a couple of weeks ago as well beat Classic 5-1 in one of our Alpha Pro Series Elite matches. What he does, and the others aren't really doing it, is he just SCV pulls like every game.
Right.
And he managed to beat herO with that in a game that he probably should have lost. He was like down in supply, but the SCVs, he sniped off all of the AoE, and then the SCVs came in and tanked the Zealots, and Bio was able to power through. Innovation has certainly been very strong. Maru's had a couple of good games, but generally has sort of underperformed. He beat Bunny and Sue on day 7.
And on day 7, Innovation gave a decent push after Creator lost against Keen as well.
Yeah.
So I think the main performers today is going to be both Innovation and Maru.
Now the scary thing is they're playing against a team with 3 Protosses. And the state of PVT is maybe... a lot of Terran players...
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, a lot of Terrans dislike that matchup. Now, I can't say much because I have a Protoss tattoo on my head.
Okay.
I am a Protoss player. If anything,
and
I'm the most abusive Protoss player.
Oh, boy.
This is the semi-finals today, as we mentioned. The winning team today goes up against Team Classic, who are undefeated, have a +10 map score, and have absolutely been stomping it. Solar, specifically, I think has the best map score in the tournament. He's all killed once. He's been taking games. He won our Alpha Pro Series yesterday. Solar's like the best player in the world right now, I think. And there's also, just winning today earns you $1,000 more. That's a lot of money. $1 million Korean won. That's about $1,000.
Yep, that is correct.
Which would be wicked. Like, both of these teams obviously want that money. I know I would. Maybe they'll let us enter. Me and you, Potato. We can be the last team, the secret team, the last boss.
And then we'll just take all the prize pool money.
Yeah. I'll just cannon rush. That's the only thing I know how to do anyway. We will take a look at the bracket. Let me switch that scene. Swing. Oh, I'm good at that. Okay, so as you can see, this is the regular season. It was a 10-day season. With the final standings coming out as so. Classic in first, Team herO in second. Team Maru took third. Sue and Deer, their teams have been eliminated, unfortunately. They are now out, which is sad because Sue played really well in some of the games I saw. And Team Deer had Hurricane, who I also really like. So the final playoffs bracket is as so. Team Classic dropped down straight to that grand finals to play for that first place prize pool, 5 million Korean won. And Team herO and Maru are fighting to see who will meet them. That is live. Yeah. This is me. This is our stream. This is the Korean stream. I'm just filling time until we get into games, really. Right, let's do predictions, because I love a good prediction.
All right. Do we have the first players yet, or no?
Nope. We get them from the live feed as it happens.
Right. Well, I personally think that either Creator or Innovation may start the series.
Okay.
Um, I'm actually thinking Creator and Rogue instead. I'm sorry about that. My correction.
Okay.
For Team R, because as we have seen consistently, except for day 2, it was usually Rogue or Creator starting off the series. It feels like Rogue would be a nice starter. What do you think?
They started with Rogue yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, did he win game 1? No, he didn't.
No,
herO
he did
came
not.
out and beat him. I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised to see herO put himself out first again as well. herO
Mm-hmm.
obviously yesterday came in, killed 3 people immediately, and they were clean wins. He looked on fire.
Yeah.
But Team Maru maybe are going to go a bit different. I'd like to see maybe even Maru put himself out first, just for the fun factor, just for the hype, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. Or maybe also Innovation might come out as well.
Well, I can tell you who's going to come out because we are ready and we are in game 1, so we will. Load
All
in.
right, let's get right into it.
Most definitely. In the top left, they've just changed it. They just changed the colours. So, in the bottom right, it is Fantasy who has come out first for Team... I've now suddenly lost track of where we are.
Team herO.
Team herO, thank you. I was thinking stats,
Yep.
and I'm like, no, it's not stats. So Team herO has sent out Fantasy. My favourite player in the world for Team Maru, it is Creator.
All right, the Protoss comes. It's a PvP.
Yes. It's PvT.
Oh, I mean, yeah, PvT because it's Fantasy on the other team.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No, that's okay. So, Creator has been very, very good in the PvPs of this tournament. His PvT is pretty good. He's a very aggressive 2-base kind of player generally. I haven't seen many of his PvTs recently. As I said, I am a huge Creator fan. He got really, really, really drunk and carried me around Home Story Cup once. Which was... Since then, he's been my favourite player.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just actually stick some background music on. We are casting from a feed today, guys. So we do not have game sounds. I apologise. It's something we want to fix for next season. But you can't win them all. Okay, right. Who's going to win this game? Place your bets.
I am actually leaning towards Fantasy, because Fantasy did. Although he came back from the army, he still looked pretty strong,
Yeah.
and in Olima League he did play a little bit decently, if I say so myself. And Creator, I haven't seen much of Creator's game, but he hasn't really shown some strong outcome in this specific tournament so far.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've just seen Discord. Okay, so both players have opened very standardly. We have the gateway to Cybercore, the Nexus out of Creator. Fantasy has gone for that Reaper Expand. We have no proxies or anything on the map just yet. Have you able to see the stream yet?
Not yet. You can take it away for a
Alright,
little bit.
okay. Creator right now actually has 2 probes pulled off. Okay, he is just going for a transfer, and he has opened for that Robo. So looking to open relatively standard. It's not the most standard, but the Twilight Council generally being the opening. A lot of Protosses go for. Acropolis is a very big map though. There's certainly room to harass with the prison and things like that. So we'll see how it pans out. Fantasy has got that bunker nice and early, so you can defend against any Adept Shades or Stalkers walking across the maps, any single proxy gates, the old Max Pax build. It is a standard 1-1-1 from Fantasy. As you can see, he's getting that starport right now. Creator adding on actually a few more gates, looking probably to be quite aggressive. Going up to 4 this early is a little unusual. Usually you just see 3 off of that 2-base. But he has managed to deny a lot of information from Fantasy. Fantasy hasn't been able to get in. That Reaper wall has been blocked. I'm just enjoying the Heart of the Swarm music today.
I see.
Okay. The other idea, I already know what it's going to be. Oh, okay, yeah, that works. No, that works. Yeah, that could work.
Oh.
The game opening very standard. We do see Creator is moving across the map with that warp prism. He is loading up a bunch of stalkers, going to try and harass the front whilst he drops in the main. Actually has a lot of units right now. The Reaper on the other side of the map, though, being very frustrating, is going to pick up at least one worker. A little bit of a mistake there from Creator. That's one thing we've noticed in this tournament is his defense whilst he moves out. Sometimes he does get caught out. This Reaper's now picked up 3 workers and is going relatively unopposed. Oh! Widowmine does a lot of damage to that Warp Prism and now forces that to fall back, and Fantasy certainly takes the upper hand in this match. Reaper coming in now looking for another kill. That Reaper just killed 5 workers 5 minutes into the game. Should never happen. That Reaper is an early game scouting tool. If it gets 1 worker in the early game, you feel great. If it gets 5 in the 5-minute mark, that's fantastic. Now it does look like Fantasy wants to be the aggressor. He is moving out with that double Widowmine drop. Can certainly look to make something happen. This Observer, unfortunately, probably not going to make it. It is going to be caught out by the Raven. Actually, the auto turret comes down to pick up the kill. Very nice there. Creator still looking to be aggressive. Does have another drop lined up. Is going to drop some Stalkers here. There is a tank, unfortunately, already in position, so only 1 or 2 workers will go down. Still nice. The Widowmine drop comes in. Creator's pull very, very quick. We'll lose probably 3 workers. Yep, just the 3. For now. But it certainly looks like Fantasy's put himself into a good position. Oh, I love Creator's Sim City. Able to get those units through. I don't think that will work, Potato, because there's quite a big delay. I think the screen share option is the best one.
Yeah, I think I'll go for that.
Yeah, there's like a 20-second delay from Fantasy is moving out to try and secure that 3rd command center. Creator has got a Colossus out now and is continuing to build them. Very, very nice for him. He's still, despite the fact that he's certainly not had the best start, his tech is good. His economy is pretty good. He's actually up 9 workers, which is about what you'd like to be as a Protoss player. He doesn't want to get caught here. There is also the Raven that can disable that Colossus, and then there is no AoE. The Raven does have the energy as well. Ooh, you can hear my Discord cooling right there. Okay.
Alright, everything is good.
You can see now? Cool. I just need to check my levels are good. It seems fine.
Nice 2 double drop coming in. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, if you can get this Colossus range, that's really, really big. That's a huge, huge tool that Creator needs to be able to fight. It also stops that 3rd Colossus being produced. And actually, Fantasy has taken a 20 supply lead. This drop doing so much damage.
Yeah, Fantasy is actually really good at making these drops in TVP. If we also look at other competition, he likes utilizing this tool to get ahead a lot of times.
Yeah, and so far this game, he's just dealt with everything that's been thrown at him. As I said, and I'm not sure how much you heard because I know you're having some difficulties. His Reaper killed 5 workers. His first Reaper. It wasn't proxied. It was a standard Reaper. Creator moved out with a bunch of Stalkers and a Prism and left nothing at home. And the Reaper was able to get in. And
also, we do see a Doom drop going in to the main base.
Fantasy, ever the brave player, is certainly prepared to go in. And actually, although the Raven was seen... Oh, the army is here in position. So this is very... Oh, nice feedback.
Oh, yeah. Really nice. Shutting that attack down.
Yeah, Creator holds that perfectly. And he needs to do as much of that as possible. Because right now, his tech was shut down. His Colossus robotics bay was sniped. So he had to rebuild it. Instead, actually opting to go for Storm off of 2 Colossus. Usually, I think you want to aim for about 3. But... Creator's hanging in there. His upgrades are still pretty good. You can see he is very even with his opponent. +2 for both of them at about the same time. Fantasy a little ahead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But look at Fantasy's army. He's up 34 army supply. Quick maths. And I'm a little bit scared.
And his army composition is getting together as well.
Yeah.
Really nicely.
He's starting now to add Liberators. This Colossus is going to fall so quickly. The first Colossus didn't get a single volley off. The second one will follow. There's just so much bio here. I'm very scared for Creator right now. He's not able to take a decent fight. Now he finds it a decent angle, but there's no Colossus left. He has no AoE. Storm isn't done. 10 seconds left on that. Is there any way Creator can hold this potato?
I have no idea.
I think if he can get some good storms, those Widow Mines. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there's the first storm. That's what he needs. Friendly fire on the Widow Mine as well. Very, very nice. Archon morphing in. This tank in the back has done so much damage. Now the Immortals get on top of all of this bio, and they do start to trade pretty well. The Liberator falls, and then Creator takes a decent fight. The reinforcements are close for Fantasy, but Creator still has a decent army here. He's warping in more Zealots, and it looks like he will hold. He's down 60 supply though. 50. The game certainly are looking scary. It is 76 workers for Fantasy, which is the absolute ideal number to just the 61 of Creator. And you can see now with Ghosts being added, with Armory, another eBay, Fantasy is going to be powering up very, very quickly.
Yeah. The huge ghost switch would basically force Creator to also go Warp Prism as well, in order to do that little Warp Prism drop, to do some surprise storm from the Warp Prism. Without that, Terran can essentially dodge or EMP those High Templars like nothing, so we will probably expect Creator to go that.
That's one of my favourite things in StarCraft 2, Storm Drops. It's just so good. We do have the Doom Drop loaded up, or 2 medevac drop with a load of Liberators. It is going to be able to pick off a bit of this tech. Won't get too much as the army does pull back. I'm surprised to see Fantasy not hitting somewhere else at the same time. Although, this is going to be big Psionic Storm right there on all of them. Bio forces a lift up. And Creator again taking good trades despite his overwhelming lack of units. Now, Fantasy is re-rallying his army, starting to get everything back together. Creator does have a good economy. He still has that solid 4 base foothold for himself to work off, but now it does look like things are getting a little bit scary. Oh, MP on the Immortal and that Stalkers and Sentries completely takes them out of the fight. Creator is still down 50 supply. He needs to find a way to get a good fight going, but so many bio units. Ghosts, there's everything. I think this is good from Creator Potato. He's going to try and set up a flank. If he can get the Zealots to wrap around the army, he certainly has a better chance. And his vision is good. Okay. For now, Creator is going to add in Disruptors. He's continuing to try his best to get that AoE tech that is going to be successful, and Disruptors at this point in the game are very good. If you can get those hits on the Marines, on the Ghosts, they will completely vanish. Very, very nice Storm onto the bio here. Does pick off a lot of it, but there is so many Marauders with this composition. Actually, the army's fighting split right now. We have skirmishes across the map. The Disruptor shot comes in absolutely huge, kills a good chunk of Marines and Marauders. There is still just so much there. It looks like this Nexus is getting very, very low. I can see a couple of Marines and Marauders are picking away at it on that bottom side. Creator has set up another flank. He is still down 50 supply and fighting with everything he has. The EMPs on those Immortals are huge, and with that concussive shell as well, they do get chased down. One is saved by the Prism. Very nice there from Creator, trying to save it. This Nexus will unfortunately fall. And Fantasy now up a base, up in army supply, up in upgrades. I feel sorry for Creator. He's fighting so well, so efficiently, but just unable to make it work.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him.
Another nice disruptor shot right there. Does pick off a good chunk of the bio. And Creator now only down 40 supply. You know, it's not the 50 it was 2 minutes ago. Every little counts. He is going back into Colossus and getting that extended thermal lance. Trying his best to be able to keep himself in this game, to be able to deal with this bio army as well as these tanks and ghosts. Very nice Stalker force here. Did just pick off a lot of free bio units as well. Picks off the sensor tower. Allows those run bys. As he continues to try and fight his way back into this game. There is still a 40 supply differential. Fantasy is maxed. He is up in upgrades. He has that +2 armor. He has +1 air weapons as well. Or, yeah, +1 air weapons. I have to think about that. He is now getting that Liberator upgrade, which makes things very, very scary. If you can siege up that quickly, you can pick off these charged zealots very well. Stalkers still the main composition of choice here for Creator. They are actually managing to do quite a bit of work. He's been picking off 3 units pretty well. Another disruptor shot does go through, doesn't manage to connect. Creator is going to continue to try and fight, but once again his 4th base is being picked off. He's also being pressured on his 3rd base. So many army units just went down for Creator. He's also just lost 15 more workers. The probe's even being forced to fight against a small chunk of bio here, as it's the only way he can hope to win that fight. This base is being picked away at just by 2 marauders, but eventually they will win out the day and the base will fall. The Nexus falls right now. Creator has dropped down to just, I believe, 1 mining Nexus. GG is called, and Fantasy takes game 1.
Yeah, very well played by Fantasy. Really nice drops, harassing, really, really, I would say, really kind of outclassed Creator.
Yeah, it pains me to say so. As I said, I'm #1 Creator fanboy. So, being from Korea, have you met many of the players? Did you get to go down and see a lot of them back in when you were still there?
Nah, I was a high school student, so I had to focus on getting into college.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm probably a lot older than you then.
Well, I'm so sorry, Grant, and I'm so sorry to you viewers, but I think I won't be able to continue casting today, so I'm gonna have you leave you to it.
What I'll do is I'll go and get a potato from downstairs and just put it on webcam to...
Yeah, I'm so sorry for the early leave.
No worries, man. Good luck. I hope you can fix
but thank you for having me.
No worries. Have a good day.
Yeah, farewell.
Okay, guys, we are going to wait to find out who player 2 is. It is just me now. You are stuck with me, unfortunately. But that's the way it's going to have to be. I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you're enjoying this so far. Team herO. Trying to read and talk at the same time. Very difficult for someone with my IQ. Have taken a 1-0 lead. Continuing on from yesterday. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you all. I love you all. I'm having a bad hair day as well, so please put up with that. But I did shave today, so I don't look homeless anymore. It's a good start. We will wait to find out who the next player is from Team Maru. Will they send out Rogue? Will they send out Innovation? Or will they send out Maru? Creator is now dead. Creator's, if he wants to play again in this tournament, he is fully relying on his team. Be it the other 2 Jin Air Green Wings players or Rogue. No. Yes. No, Innovation, of course. Yeah, plays for Team Rec. So we will wait and see who it is that's going to come out against Fantasy. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of the Terrans. TVT, very, very strong for both of these guys to be at that level. Usually requires some of the best TVT in the world. TVT in Korea, obviously, There was a long time where it was a very prevalent matchup, maybe not so much. Now we see more PVT. For those of you that have just joined us, this is the semi-finals of the BJ Destruction Team League, organised by Afrika TV and Onpoon. My name is Grant. You can see my social media is somewhere below me, down here. That is my Twitch and Twitter. Please throw me a follow if you're not doing anything. I am commentating StarCraft pretty much 5 or 6 days a week at the moment. Just in my spare time. I really enjoy it. If you enjoy me in any way, please do. I'd really appreciate it. And I also just like the feedback. I am from jolly old England. I am the second best wardie. We are waiting for the game, so I am just filling time. I have some fun stuff to show you guys that Alpha, who I am representing today, have coming up. I think we probably have time to have a quick look. We are still waiting for the game, so let's switch and have a quick look at what's going on. This is this. So, as I said today, I am representing Team Alpha. We are not sponsoring this event, but we have been graciously allowed to commentate it in English for all of you fans of Top Korean play. Team Alpha do have some really exciting stuff coming up. Our main thing is the Alpha Pro Series, our best of 9 show match coming in 3 tiers, the Standard, Premier and Elite. Just yesterday we had Solar versus TY, that ended 5-3 for Solar in one of our Premier matches for $135. But coming up in just a couple of days, we do have Sue versus TY in one of our Elite show matches for 200 plus any match arena quests and donations. And that is an Elite match, which also means we get a winner's interview with the ever lovely Hajinson afterwards. Good luck to her and her League of Legends team today as well. So we do have these coming up. We're only able to do these thanks to our very, very lovely, gracious sponsors. Let's see if the game has started. It has, so we'll go into this as well. So I'm going to take a quick second as this game starts. We do see Fantasy going for this proxy against Maru, and it's going to be a proxy 2 racks. I want to talk about one of our sponsors very quickly, 24-Hour Fitness. 24-Hour Fitness have 436 locations throughout the United States. If you want to get that perfect gym body, that perfect summer body, if you want to look good on the beaches of LA or the beaches of Florida or wherever you are, check out 24-Hour Fitness. They're open 24 hours a day. They have personal trainers, they have coaches, they have free weights, they have cardio, they have pools, they have classes, everything you'd need. So guys, if you're in the States, please check them out. They do sponsor the Alpha Pro Series, and we appreciate them very much. For now, let's talk about the game. Fantasy has gone for this double 2 racks with gas. So it is going to be Reapers for now. We may see a follow-up of the Factory. We have to wait and see. This is a very, very aggressive build. Maru himself, known to be a very aggressive player, is going to go in for the Scout, which will help him tremendously. He goes in, sees what he sees, immediately knows he has to defend. This is going to come down to good workers. Defense, he's going to need to keep his Reaper alive. Very, very important for himself. You see Maru is going to keep that worker sitting back. Now what I can do, as my co-commentator is gone, is just turn the background music up a little bit so you guys can enjoy that. If you've not watched this before, I am casting directly from a feed, which means, actually I'm using the wrong overlay. Let's switch. Ta-da! Now the Reapers do come in straight away for Fantasy. Maru is prepared, he has workers in position. As soon as he can get a Hellion or 2 out, it starts to look really good for him. And Maru is proxying a starport across the map. Now Maru obviously will be down in the Reaper numbers, that is completely without a doubt. But the Hellion provides a lot of DPS. If he can fight with a couple of SCVs too, he can afford to lose a couple. Maru is still even in workers. His tech is advantageous. He does have that starport up much quicker before Fantasy is even able to start his. So things are looking not too bad for Maru. Now, Fantasy is starting to pull back, actually, and Maru seems to have held this pressure, this very aggressive pressure, successfully. Maru's going for that very quick Liberator, and there is not going to be anything to deal with that. There's still just Reapers being produced. We may see that Factory at home produce a Widowmine. Now it is scouted, which is very nice for Fantasy. He now knows what he has to deal with. I think the Tech Lab actually has gone on the Factory here for Fantasy. I can't be certain. It looks that way. It is. So he's going to be able to... he's delayed any chance of getting very quick Widowmines. He can now get the Cyclone, which of course is very good, but it won't be out in time. This Liberator is going to force a pretty hefty pull, if not get kills. There is also 1 Marine in production, which will help, obviously. Every little does help. Oh no, that's for Maru, I apologise. Now the Liberator will come in, force this large pull as we said. We'll get probably just a 1 kill. Bonk! But this is time that Fantasy is not mining. And Fantasy really, really would like to be mining right now. No more kills there. Now this Liberator will be chased off if not killed. Actually, the SCV is proving a buffer there to keep the Liberator alive. Very useful for Maru. Maru is taking his natural at a good time. The Reapers are going to come in and try and slow this down massively. I'm not really sure what the rest of Maru's army is. Here it comes. Maru's army now comes in. The Cyclone does lock in on the barracks, so isn't actually providing any DPS here to these Reapers. Maru with 2 Hellions is able to take a very good fight here. The Hellions bounce very, very nicely. Maru is now going to make a Raven. This is really, really nice. Sure, the Liberator can't siege up thanks to that Cyclone, but a Raven auto turret comes down and does a huge amount of DPS very quickly. I really like Maru's position here, guys. He held that pressure so well. His natural is about the same time. His tech, as I said, is better. Maru, if he can get on top of a couple of his units, can do so much damage right now. You can see those Hellions start to fall. A couple of workers. Maru is sieging up the ramp. There is no way for Fantasy to get down right now. So this natural is slowed down. Maru, actually feeling brave, is going to go up the ramp. He does throw down that auto turret, which will keep a lot of these units back. Maru is up 5 workers. He's up 12 supply. Maru just looks in such a good spot right now. It's so difficult for Fantasy to push this back. He will eventually be able to, as the reinforcements come in for him. But there's now 2 Cyclones here for Maru. Maru is going to continue to try and fight. He has that Liberator for high ground vision. This natural will be forced to take off. And Maru is successfully mining quite efficiently now from his natural. If the natural goes down here, this is huge. Maru just takes a huge advantage by killing this base. It's now going to start to be repaired. It's so close and it does go down. You see the hairdryer fly off. No lovely hair today for Fantasy. If this Banshee gets picked off as well, things start to look very good for Maru. Maru is making another Raven. He continues to get everything he needs to keep applying the pressure. It looks like Fantasy wants to try and break out of this contain, but he's losing units. He's losing everything. I think this could be the end for Fantasy. He's now down 26 supply. Maru has absolutely stomped that game. And that is the Maru that we're all here to see. Hello. Look how high my webcam is. How's it going, guys? Thank you so much again for joining me. We will now wait to see who the next player is. It is 1-1 in this series. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you. There's a good number of you here today. Please tell your friends, tell everyone, all your StarCraft people. Get in your Discords. Tag us. Let them know that Maru is playing. Innovation could well be playing. herO could be playing. Who knows? All of these players are here available. Just to go over the players left today, we have Zest, we have SOS, we have herO. One of those will be up next, and they will be facing Maru. But also Innovation and Rogue are waiting in the wings if Maru were to fall. It's not like we are lacking on good players here today. The winner of the series goes up tomorrow to face the grand finalist team, Team Classic. Team Classic undefeated so far. We're talking the team of Classic, Impact, Ragnarok and Solar. Undefeated 4-0 in the regular season. Beat every other team. They will be up against the winner of this series. In the grand finals, playing for a hell of a lot of money. There is $7,000 on the line for this tournament. The team that comes first wins 5 million Korean won, which according to my calculations is 4,428 hiccup dollary dues. Team Deer and Team Sue have been eliminated, unfortunately. But there's still a hell of a lot to play for. We are waiting for our next player. I keep thinking I have a red mark on my head, but it's just like a stray hair. And because I've dyed it, it's a little bit red. My name is Grant. Hello, I'm from England. It's really rainy here today. It's been absolutely awful, but my garden needed watering and now I don't have to do it, so that's nice. We are going to be loading into the next game. Post your bets on who it's going to be. I know, so it would be cheating. Going up against Maru in this game, it's Zest. Zest throughout this tournament hasn't been playing as you'd expect Zest to play. Zest is obviously known for his micro, his aggression, his very, very cheeky Protoss play throughout Korea. But he's been macroing every game. He's been going to free bases. He's been getting Storm. He's been getting Charged Zealots. He's been getting Colossus. Lots of Immortals. And just beating Terran players he plays against straight up. He did manage to beat Innovation yesterday by doing so. And I think he beat Maru too. I can't remember. I already can't remember. This is day 11 of this tournament. We have cast all but day 1 and 2. I have cast all but day 1 and 2. Thank you so much for having me. If any of the upper brass are here, I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me do this. I've loved this tournament. It's been incredible. Hopefully next season we can actually get into the games and have game sounds and things, or at least get the replays for me to cast from. Zest is opening a little bit more aggressive than standard, I guess. You do see some Protoss players opt for that Nexus before core. Zest did go for that core first, so we'll be able to get the quicker Adept out, which is very good against the Reaper. He does block the Reaper path also. Or he can send that Adept across the map if he chooses to do so. An Adept and a Stalker across the map early. It is a Terran's worst nightmare. They hate it. You can slow down the workers on that CC. You can force either a Cyclone or something like that. You slow down their aggression. And a Terran can't really afford to just sit back. We do see that reactor go down on the racks. And we should see the factory joining it very soon. Maru is going to move out with his Maru Reaper. He's going to look for any proxies very early, just in case. This is the sort of time that a proxy pylon will be going down for that Stargate. And obviously when you're playing Zest, you want to be prepared. Zest hasn't gone for anything like that. He did open... Oh, come on! There we go. He did open standard. Maru going for a very fast 3cc. Sorry guys, as I mentioned before, I'm casting from the feed. That feed is all the way in Korea, so sometimes we have these issues. Enjoy the dancing cat as we get back into it. Look how happy he is. There we go. Usually it just takes a quick refresh. And the issues seem to resolve. Maru hasn't gone for the scout across the map yet. And he has gone for that very, very fast 3cc. Maru knows he needs to eke out an advantage early. You know, not seeing the factory down until that 235 mark can be a little bit scary if he was playing against some kind of proxy. But he seems to be okay, seems to be in an alright position. Zest as well is sat at home. He is going for that Twilight Council, very standard out of a Protoss player. I love those Vespian, you know, those yellow, purple Vespian geysers, the gold base for gas. Really, really cool. I just like the design, the art, you know, they look so nice. When you're so used to seeing those green bubbling geysers, seeing a bit of purple was nice. I like the colour purple too. I'm just sharing this with you. Blink is started as we had anticipated. Sometimes you do see those glaives, but Blink very much the standard. And Zest, as I said in this tournament, has played very much the standard. It does look like Maru has scouted absolutely everywhere. You can see all that open path. The Reaper currently down the top left, down at the bottom left even, sorry, has been able to see any of these proxies. Now, the hallucinated Oracle does come in and see that third base, very important. It is chased away by a couple of Zealots. Now, it is an hallucination, so it's never going to... by Zealots? By Marines. It is an hallucination. It didn't force any pulls or anything. It was more a scouting tool and maybe to put a little bit of fear, a couple more Widow Mines in production into our Terran player. Maru, obviously being arguably the best player in the world and the best Terran in the world. You know, there's a certain Finnish phenomenon who would have a case against him, but Maru certainly has a stake in that argument. Is playing very safe. He's going to go for the Widow Mine drop. Now Blink is nearly done, and if he gets caught out here, he could lose his medevac with these mines in. On the contrary though, if he can get this burrow down maybe in the main or in the third, he's going to be able to do so much damage. There are no cannons, there are no observers out yet. So if these Widow Mines can get a shot or two off, we could see a decent amount of probes fall. And I think Zest maybe although one of the best Protoss players in the world, when it comes to being hit with early aggression, sometimes he can fall apart a little bit. Now this is going to be seen, that pylon does see this coming in, and we should see a very quick reaction here from Zest. You see all of these stalkers are here, the mines burrow, very nice pull there, one of them will go off, just kill one worker, and goes down. So this didn't work out for Maru. He gets a decent probe pull, but he didn't manage to save the mines to reburrow in the natural. He didn't manage to find much. There are two observers on top of each other right there. There we go. Zest goes, oh, and fixes it. And Zest is going to start to move across the map. Now there is a bunker here with one unit inside, but Maru doesn't have too much. Does he have tanks yet? He's certainly going to need them. Oh, don't be like this. There we go. Hopefully that is the last tinge of buffering that we have from this feed I'm casting from. I don't generally have buffering issues, it's just sometimes when you're watching something all the way from Korea, it can be a little bit tricky. Whilst you have a stream open and 900 tabs as well. Now Maru does have tanks in a decent spot. He has a nice spread here to be able to defend his free bases. There may be a little bit of room if he was to go round by these mineral walls to the east of Maru's third, but I don't think there's much room for aggression here out of Zest. Zest probably instead is going to macro up. As you can see, he does have that Templar Archives. Storm is started. His upgrades are very, very good. He has that double forge with chronos in to match, if not exceed, Maru's upgrades. But the game very stable right now. Both players really picking up their macro. Ghosts will be on the way shortly for Maru. I've seen Maru's ghosts in actions, mainly against Zerg, but my lord, can that boy control ghosts. An absolutely one-of-a-kind player. Now we do have a double drop loaded up actually for Zest right now, looking to try and get some damage done. Excuse me. You can tell it's early for me. Always yawning. Now having a Stargate added in by Zest is very interesting. We may see that transition soon. He may also just use it to get an Oracle or two to keep tabs on the army. He may also opt to go into Tempests, very good against all of these Liberators, able to kill them in just a couple of shots. We'll have to see. Maru does scan, gets a very good read of the base, sees the gateways, sees the tech that's gone down. I don't think Maru knows the current placement of the army. Zest is across the map and taken his fourth behind this. Zest actually going for a big warp in right now. That is a lot of Zealots. These Zealots do have charge. Now the upgrades are ahead for our Protoss player. He does have 2-2 to the 1-1 of Maru. But you have to push into this position with 1 trillion Widow Mines, Liberators for days. It's a very difficult position to push. You may try and swing around and hit a different position. This missile turret was able to push back the Warp Prism from Zest. So Maru holds very, very well. Now he is out on the map, and this is a slightly scarier position for him because there are storms, and the first storms do not connect. The second storm is massive. So much of the army disappears. There is also a feedback here on that Raven. That Raven now almost entirely useless. We see one High Templar steps too far forward. Another storm doesn't manage to hit the mark. But Zest did take a decent fight. He is still slightly down in supply. Oh my god, another big storm on a lot of this bio. You see these Marines falling. So many Marines here. There should be another storm very, very shortly. It's hard for me. I can't see all the energy on these High Templars. But there should be more storms coming. This base will fall for Maru. And Maru really needed the fourth right now. Zest has put himself in a good position. Sure, he's down in supply. But it is all army supply. And he is doing so much damage right now. He's slowing down the economy of Maru. He is able to warp in a good amount of units at a time. I don't think Zest has as many gateways as he'd like. And behind this, Tempests are coming. +3 is coming. Maru not even started his 2-2, I believe. Oh my god, another huge storm here behind this wall. Using that Warp Prism for vision, very, very nice. Actually, huge EMPs on all of the army right now. Maru just took the fight, the EMPs of his life. All of those Stalkers lose all their shields. I don't believe there are any storms left either. Very nice there from the young Terran player. Not so young these days, but still young at heart. And now Maru is able to sort of stabilise. He really does need to take a 4th base very, very soon. His economy, not the best right now. He is behind in mining from Zest. Zest is continuing, I'm guessing, to load up that Warp Prism now with High Templars, making it very, very difficult for Maru to get the EMPs he needs. So you have to have like microsecond timing to be able to EMP them as they drop and storm. Yeah. Now the Tempests have joined the fray, and that means these Liberators unfortunately have to back right off. Doesn't want to be losing the Tempest, so one will fall very, very quickly, and that's very nice. Tempests are very expensive, takes quite a long time to produce. Certainly good for Maru. Maru is starting to add in Vikings. He's getting his +3. He is adding in more Ghosts, as well as still SCVs. The Storm's very, very good on Maru's army. Maru's army absolutely coated in bad weather right now. Maru is still trying to fight back. The supply's still very even. Maru lost a lot of workers, but he is taking a pretty decent fight right now. If he can pick off a lot of his units, he can maybe try and counterattack across the map. He is doing his absolute best. He has workers fighting here as well. As you can see, Maru just lost a huge amount of workers, and Zest managing to take the better of the fight. Currently up only 10 supply, but he is up 19 workers. Man, I'm good with the quick maths today. And that's a pretty significant amount. Maru's going to have to reproduce those SCVs if he wants to be pretty efficient in his mining. You see he's not opting for that right now, instead getting more and more army. But Zest seeming to have control of this game. His upgrades are very, very good. He has now loaded up that medevac up in that east position, well, the very top centre of the map. And we'll probably look to try and get back into the 3rd base of Maru. Maru has managed to stabilise on 4 bases. Now Zest has got his 5th, and that is certainly good for him. The economy from Zest is still very, very strong. Maru has muled a lot, and you can see he is currently mining more minerals and a very even amount of gas, as there is no gas on this 5th. But Maru needs to find the right fight. His upgrades are going to be phenomenal soon. Once he gets that 3-3, those bio units so strong and so efficient. If he can dodge the bad weather, if he can not get struck by lightning, Maru certainly still has a very good fight here. Sure, his worker count is a little low, but he has mules. He does have a very solid 4-base economy, I think all of which are orbitals as well. I don't think he did opt for any planetaries, which is always a little scary. We're not seeing more Tempests being added from Zest. Zest instead is getting better shield upgrades. He is getting +1 air weapons. And 5 more gates, as well as that robo bait for Zest. So Zest will transition eventually. The Ghost hit squad is out for Maru. It is completely seen. There is an observer there. Zest. Oh, very nice. How did he see that? I never would have been able to. There is a drop right now coming from Zest. As you can see, it was cleaned up by Maru pretty efficiently. No workers went down, or 1 minimum. Zest moving around with Zealots too, trying to keep that map control, trying to keep the fear of a counterattack going at all times. Zest now at +3 weapons, +2 armor, +2 shields, +3 weapons for Maru, +2 armor, +1 air weapons. The +3 armor for Maru is on the way. He's also getting that cloak for his ghosts, and the fusion core has been added also. Maru is maxed and will begin now just to bank or to continually upgrade his army. We may see things like building armor, maybe even bunker space, who knows. Those big old bunkers keeping a lot of boys in. These zealots will fall. Maru will trade out just a couple of marines for all of these zealots as he tries to take this base down here in the southwest-ish position. Now, Zest is moving out. He still does have a strong army. He is down in army supply, but if he can pick off a few of these Liberators or Medevacs, that's nice for him. Blinkstalkers, obviously very mobile, can grab as many units as they want and fall back without taking too many casualties. We do have another drop coming in right now from Zest. This one Warp Prism has been a nightmare. It's been around so long, and now this drop becomes quite hefty. The Warp Prism eventually falls, and there are a lot of Ghosts here who are going to try and snipe as many of these Zealots as possible. Ghosts, not the highest DPSing units, but not too bad. Disruptors being added by Zest. Oh my god. It is raining on top of Maru's army right now. He doesn't lose too much as his army is very Marauder heavy, but it's a lot of damage. It's forcing a lot of energy from those medevacs. And actually, it doesn't look like there are that many medevacs. I'd like to see the units tab at some point so we can keep track of that. I can only see 2. Vikings being added in quite large numbers currently by Maru. You can see there's disruptor shots coming in, and this is now terrifying for Maru. When you have Tempest coupled with, I couldn't say that then, coupled with those High Templars and those disruptors, the damage output and the peel output as well for Zest's army is so good. Maru loses another base, and that's sort of been the bane of this game for him. He's always been a base behind, and every time he's tried to catch up in that regard, the base has been sniped. Now we do see more Ghosts and more Bio coming to try and deal with the Stalker army. There is another Prism in location there too that will hide up in the clouds. Very nice EMPs here. The Vikings doing work as well on top of all these Tempests. If he can get this number down, that becomes a little easier for him to take these fights. He does have a lot of Vikings though against not a lot of air units. We'll probably, if a big fight comes, have to land them. Now they do great DPS obviously, but when the Tempest count has been reset like this, it is frustrating. Liberators will siege up here, as well as a Ghost EMP in this army. We'll see a few Stalkers immediately fall. But the main force here for Zest is going to hit this base from Maru, and Maru can't afford to lose another base. The repairs coming in clutch. Oh, very nice split too. Lots of workers go down. Maru is down to only 50 SCVs. Still not choosing to reproduce them, despite only having a few orbitals left. And is that really what I think it is? Maru, in a TVP, is opting for a nuclear missile. What a baller. Splits from Maru like you can't imagine, like an Olympic level gymnast. Splitting for days. The Stalkers do blink forward and actually manage to pick up a few of these medevacs, which is very, very frustrating for Maru. He doesn't have many medevacs left. And this warp in here is so large. Zest also keeping his army down. You can see it starting to move in now towards that southwest base. Just hitting everywhere at once with such a mobile army. Now Maru is almost in position. He has a decent chunk here, plus the Liberators. But not able to hit as hard as he needs to. He will push this back, and if he can reset that disruptor count, that's very nice for him. You see those disruptors do fall. Maru actually finding a pretty decent fight here. A lot of these army units starting to disappear. Maru is also losing a decent chunk, but he's killing the Immortals. He's killing a lot of Stalkers. His EMPs have been on point on top of all of these Protoss Bio units, and he mules up that base heavily to get that economy re-going. Carriers in production for Zest. Zest really taking it to the late game now against Maru. We're getting all of the units we can imagine. The only thing we haven't really seen is Dark Templars yet. And Colossus. I don't think he made any Colossus this game. But apart from that, every unit under the sun has been made. The Tempest count once again quite high, but the Viking count for Maru has remained very, very strong. He is still able with a volley or two to pick off all of these Tempests. Very nice for him there. You can see the air army for Maru is substantial. One big volley goes down on the Tempest. The blink does come forward, a little bit scary. Another big EMP on these Stalkers forces them to back off. He doesn't want them to be melting. Oh my god, big fight now coming in. The Stalkers blink forward on top of these Liberators, but I think Maru has so much here. He doesn't have that much of a ground army. There's not very much to deal with Zealots right now, but the Stalkers will fall very quickly to all of the Marauders that Maru has been building. There are only 5 Marines and 4 Ghosts, so Zealot is certainly a threat against this composition. Now the Liberators are very good at picking them off quickly, especially those upgraded Liberators. There is still one nuclear missile ready to be dropped at any point. I'd love to see Maru really make it rain with that one. Another Prism has just been caught on the map and will be picked off. Very nice effort from Maru to catch that. Now Carriers are here, and they are very difficult to deal with for Maru. He does have a good Viking count still, so that is nice. His ground army, though, is just falling. And these Carriers have picked up a lot of the Vikings, too. There's not many Vikings, if any, left. Maru is fighting and is actually up in supply right now. I'm not sure how this is happening for Maru. He just seems to win fights that look so difficult. The carriers are very difficult to deal with, but the Marine count is starting to get up there again. It is now getting closer to the 20 mark, which is definitely nice for Maru. A lot of these Stalkers will fall, and these carriers have no interceptors. Will they both fall? I certainly imagine so. This Liberator is going to tickle away at one. I'm surprised to see Maru not load up a few Marines. It is going to be recalled, Zest knowing he needs to keep every unit possible. But Maru takes a great fight. His upgrade's free. It won't get any better. He still has that nuke. We haven't seen that drop just yet. I'd really like to see it start to rain Chernobyl style. That joke might be too soon, but the TV series is popular right now, so I'm going for it. And now both players falling back, starting to try and keep their bases. There are very little... 17 gateways! Holy shit! Zest is able to warp in a hell of a lot of zealots at the time of a fight. And will be certainly looking to do so. Those zealots very, very good. There aren't that many liberators left either to stop these Archons, these Immortals, and these Zealots getting very, very good fights. You see the blink out immediately from Zest. Zest on top of his army positioning right here. Maru is scanning and seeing that that base down to the very southwest has been taken from Zest. Maru is going to try and pick that up quite quickly. There are DTs running around as well now. This base will fall. I don't think two Stalkers will manage to get too much damage done up here to the top side of the map. And Maru's not done here. He thinks, well, if the army's not here, then I'll keep going. He is going to take down another mining base. Okay, the recall does come in, so that base will survive. Nice recall there from Maru. Is able to then get a little bit more control. He does have to scan to deal with more and more Dark Templars. You can see there is one hanging about. Oh, runs back in just a few seconds too early and does take a building shot right to the face from that planetary. And this is a proper epic game, guys. Please let your StarCraft friends know that right now there is a 23-minute game between Zest and Maru with Ghosts. There is a nuclear missile that could go down any time. There is carriers. The map has been almost entirely split, and there is the nuclear missile. Now, Zest will probably abandon this base. No, yes, he will. Okay, and it is cancelled, so the nuke does remain. Very nice from Maru to do so. Isn't committing. This is a very interesting fight right now. The high ground is there for Zest, and as Obi-Wan told us, that means he wins. But the EMPs on the army was huge. And more keep falling. Now Maru is going to choose to run away. 5 Liberators in production from the Korean Terran player. And Zest is going to be the one to push right now. He does have those storm drops. Only a couple though. Not the most efficient when it comes to High Templars. Only 4 in this game. Certainly would rather have, 6, 7, 8. First storm goes down on a couple of Marauders and a few Marines. Doesn't manage to get many kills. The second storm does find its mark though. So many units fall. Now Maru is flanking from the north side. There is only one carrier here. Maru's Bioforce is absolutely huge. It is pushing in from his top side. We see the Micro even from the Colossus. Does look like Zest has won this fight quite well. The Colossus didn't go down. They got so much damage done. That North Force may be coming in a second or two too late and not getting the commitments. And Zest is going to push forward. 22 workers for Maru have gone down. Maru doesn't have that much left. He's down 50 supply right now. Has Zest broken Maru? Maru just can't find an answer to this Protoss army, like so many other Terrans. Yeah, I went there. Zest isn't going to push through for the win just yet. He is going to give Maru a chance to breathe, maybe recalibrate. Maru only has 38 workers though. He is mining very inefficiently. As you can see, he is 600-700 minerals down per minute. His gas not as far down, but Maru has no bank whatsoever. Every unit he makes is emptying him out. He's still got a very healthy Liberator count. This one Zealot being very annoying, as Zealots choose to be at all times. Liberators do siege up. One storm on a Marine and a Marauder. Okay, I know it doesn't cost any for energy, but maybe slightly ambitious from that one. The Zealot finally falls, and a Dark Templar immediately joins as backup. Maru's still fighting with all he has. He is still even in army supply. 115 to the 113. That does drop a little bit there, as the storm is money. Now these Liberators have sieged up on top of so many units. Liberators are falling pretty quickly as Archons get underneath them and Stalkers. But Maru has a very, very big spread at the upper side of this ramp, and I think this fight was going pretty well for Maru. But Zest just has so much. And with a carrier in the back providing so much DPS as well, Maru's army is starting to fall. He has no money. He's down 70 supply. I think Zest may have done it, folks. Zest is going to push now up to this north side. He doesn't know about the base just to his right. Sees it now. Chooses to ignore it. The one Colossus actually going to start destroying the workers there. And Maru cannot afford to be losing workers right now. He has 12 Marauders, 15 Marines, 1 Ghost, and a Dream. There are more, I think, Zealots on the map than there is Bio. And that excludes the Carrier, the Colossus. Every unit that Zest has right now is substantial. GG is called, and Zest takes the series 2-1, or takes the series 2-2-1 for Team herO. Protoss players just looking so strong right now. Whew, that was a long game. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I know there's a good chunk of you here today. Thank you, thank you. This is the semi-finals of the Afrika Destruction Team League, sponsored by Onpoong and Afrika. My name is Grant. You can see my social media below. It is GrantSC2. It's down there somewhere. Today I'm joined by Clarence. He's a spooky spider. Don't be scared. We are currently 2-1 in the series for Team herO. The winner of this goes on to the grand finals against Team Classic, who are undefeated. We will take a quick look at the bracket as we wait for our next player. Ta-da! And who is left as well. As you can see, this is today's match, Team herO versus Team Maru. So far, Maru has fallen and Creator has fallen. Innovation and Rogue remain to go up against Zest, SOS, and herO. Zest so far proving he is best, just defeated the wonder boy that is Maru. And he does continue his winning streak, looks to continue stomping on to fight his way to the grand finals. Now we are going to wait for our next game. Let me see if I can find the right scene so we can see my face again. Hello. I hope everyone's having a lovely day. I know I am. Really, really nice StarCraft today. It's nice to see the semi-finals so lit. Hopefully Innovation or Rogue can take it to 2-2 in the next match. That'd be nice to see. Certainly a battle ahead. Zest has been absolutely on fire. This is a repeat, actually. We played this exact series yesterday. The last day of the regular series just so happened to also be the same as playoffs day 1. This is day 11. In total, there have been 11 different series so far, this being the 11th. We have cast day 3 to day 11. We have missed none since day 3. We started on day 3. It's just when we got the invite to do so. We are now waiting to see if it will be Rogue or Innovation that comes out. This is being cast in Korean as well by JYP and his Korean friends. I'm afraid I don't know who the others are, but I always like to see JYP. So. Yeah. It's all good. I have a little bit of a hangover, I won't lie. It was my dad's birthday yesterday and we went for a meal and some drinks. It was pretty good. Had a nice burger. For now, let's find out who Zest is going to be playing against as we do go in-game for map 4. It is Rogue from GNR. We do have the Zerg player, Rogue, coming out against Zest. We haven't seen Zest play PvZ, I feel like, at all so far. Or in the last few days, at least. So it'll be really interesting to see if he goes for the aggressive style or the macro style. I think generally Zerg's doing pretty well against Protoss right now. Protoss doing well against Terran. Terran's crying themselves to sleep. So we'll have to see how it goes. It does look like we're going to have that hatch first out of Rogue. Looking to start himself up pretty normally. No very early pulls. We should see the gas and then the pull as a follow-up. And then 2 queens. Very standard. Zest is going for that gateway, followed by, we'll have to wait to see if it's a Nexus or the core. He has gone for a slightly earlier gas, so we may see that core first. Only put 2 in it though, I'm not certain it will be one or t'other, as they say in England, where I am. Rogue did go for that hatch gas pull, and the game is opening very standard. We don't see any forge shenanigans. We will see that gate, Nexus, and then core. The core will be the next building that Zest builds at 150 minerals as soon as this gate finishes. Calling it. Bet money. Alright, you all owe me. You all owe me $100. Thanks, guys. Zest will then take a second gas. We'll have to wait and see what the tech choice is from our Protoss player, whether he goes for the Stargate, the Robo. I'd love to see Zest just go absolutely mental and throw out a Marjorie build. If anyone in Korea knows how to Marjorie, it is definitely Zest. And if anyone in Europe knows how to Marjorie, it's definitely me. Thanks, Goblin. And Halston. Now, so far everything looking pretty standard here. We do have the Stalker and Warpgate immediately started. The Stalker is going to get chronoed to try and deny some of this vision or to go across the map, depending on how Zest chooses. And unfortunately we don't see a Marjorie, as it is the Twilight Council that goes up first here for Zest. That's going to be a tech choice. We may see glaives, very, very common right now, especially within Korea. Rogue is going to hide his Overlord in a safe spot. Like AA for Overlords, the high ground. Actually, I'm not really sure what Rogue's doing. He's taking a bit of unnecessary damage on that, and I think eventually we will see it snipe. We do see the Robo follow up here from Zest, so it may just be the standard Archon drop, or DTs into Archon drop. As that Twilight Archive, Twilight finishes, we should see the Dark Shrine, and there he is. So it will be a standard Archon drop. Now, if Zest scouts a lack of preparation for this, he may choose to hit in a couple of places with Dark Templars, but generally they just morph a couple of Archons, get some harassment, take a third behind it, start to power out Immortals, and everything is hunky-dory for the Protoss player, as he has a very safe yet aggressive stance. Rogue is now going in with a second Overlord. He is choosing Overlord speed too, to possibly sack that, although it does look very safe. To get all the information he needs, he does see that it is going to be an Archon drop, and immediately he starts his lair. That is going to be his reaction. Get the lair. We should. I don't know if we've yet to see a Roach Warren. I haven't really been paying that much attention. I don't think so. Spore does go down in each of the bases so far. And as the prison finishes, Rogue is able to completely figure out what's happening. He makes a few lings. He's going to add a spine in. I think he has foregone roaches so far. And, oh, okay, there's the Roach Warren just added now at the 410 mark. 3 DTs walked in the face of Rogue. Rogue obviously very prepared. He has lings, he has queens, he has a spore crawler. They should be picked up pretty quickly. I don't think Zest is going to lose any of these, and he does not. Wanted to try and pick off a queen, instead just wasted some energy on that transfuse. Still a win for him. Took a bit of damage for it, but it's not too bad. Behind this, the third, as anticipated for Zest, has gone down. And I wouldn't be surprised to see more DTs and more Adepts actually in the production. So we should see Adept run by as the Archon drop hits. Archons in the main, Adepts in the natural or third. We do see the Forge now going down for Zest, as Zest looks to macro behind this. There is one spine here, but one spine against an Archon isn't particularly great, I don't feel. He is instead going to try and look for these queens and lings. Very, very nice for him to be able to do so. And the Adepts do shade in here to the third base. A few drones will immediately fall. These Archons getting quite a lot of work done too. If he can pick off a few queens here. This Archon drop certainly, I would say, a success. 6 drones just went down. And it's still rising. 8. And now we see the Adepts eventually shut down. But Zest has put himself in such a great position. He's doing so much damage. Even with Overlord speed, that Overlord will die. This one hanging out in the high ground here will be fine. Right now, it's been one, as you just saw, one Adept down for Zest, and Zest has killed so much. 2 queens, 8 lings, 8 drones, 1 Overlord. 10 times the amount of minerals have been wasted by Rogue, as have by Zest. Zest has got a decent work account. Rogue's is very healthy at 58. The Hydra Den on the way for our Zerg player. We'll eventually be able to push a lot of this off. But Zest will be feeling comfortable right now. As you can see, there are Immortals being made behind this. Zest may choose to go for a big free base push as 5 more gates come down. Very, very common for a Protoss to do so. Get a lot of Charge Zealots, a lot of Immortals, a few Archons, and really hit hard. If you can get the right angle, get the right fight, you can possibly take the game there and then. If not, you can tech behind it. Take your 4th, take your 5th. The Archon's continuing to be a very big annoyance. He may lose another Overlord here. The Overlord is going to turn tail and run, and it does have those rocket boots attached, so it does get out pretty quick. But Zest, very active with these Archons. Very, very difficult to do from the Protoss point of view. His micro and his game sense, and his macro not stopping behind this. And it seems to be a different Zest we've been seeing recently. He's been so good at macroing. There's a bit of a... Zest has a bit of a reputation for being an overly aggressive player. That's the way I'm going to put it. That's the polite way of putting it, instead of saying cheesy as fuck. Sorry, my language, I'm English. Now, one thing Rogue has going for him is he does have that Lurker Den on the way. And Lurkers are very, very, very good units. Rogue does see that this Archon drop with Zealots is coming. This is a lot of Zealots with charge there. The force fields from Zest are not great. Doesn't manage to catch many of these units. But he does have a lot of Immortals in the back, dealing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, these units in the front doing so much. Zest is down in supply, but he's taking such a good fight right now. I feel like this base right here could be in a lot of trouble. There are 13 roaches in production, and that is a lot of the supply right now for Rogue. Zest warping in huge again in the main. He has so many Zealots. He has overwhelming numbers in both of these positions, and Zest may just be storming through. Once those gates finished, as I said, he took the right fight. He's just killed 20, 30, you can see the number rising, 40 workers, and GG is called as Zest goes up to match point for his team in this tournament. And holy moly, Zest looks on fire right now. So, Zest goes up to match point. Zest and Team herO need one more win to get to the Grand Finals against Team Classic. Now, unfortunately for them, that one win will have to be against Innovation, the last remaining player. It's certainly a little bit scary. Innovation, obviously, a whole different caliber of player. Although Zest did beat Maru, and if you can beat Maru, you're in a good spot against Innovation, I feel. Guys, I do want to take a minute just to talk about who I am, who I represent, and what we have going on. So give me one moment of your time. My name is Grant, and I represent Team Alpha. Team Alpha do not sponsor this event. This event is by Afrika and Onpoong, but we do have our own events coming up. Mainly, we do the Alpha Pro Series. We also have the Alpha Team League. But let's talk about the Alpha Pro Series right now. The Alpha Pro Series is our best of 9 show match. We have 1 or 2 a week. We're always giving out money to these hard-working players, as you can see. We just finished match 85 yesterday on the 6th. With Solar taking a 5-3 win against TY in one of our Premier matches. But excitingly for us, we do have Sue versus TY in an elite match in just 2 days. I think it's like 11 a.m. CST, which would make it like 7 or 8 p.m. KST. I'm sorry if I get these times wrong. On Sunday. It is an elite match for 200 plus any Matcherino quests. And an elite match means that we also get to speak to the lovely Hutchinson afterwards. Ta-da, Hutchinson's winner interview. We're only able to do this thanks to our sponsors, so I do want to take a minute just to talk about one of them. This is the final time today, and that sponsor is GameStop. GameStop aim to give power to the players, and recently they've started giving it to us, the esports players. Their new program means they now offer coaching and advice from some of the best players and most prominent teams in the world, no matter the game you love. If you love StarCraft, if you love League, if you love CS, if you love Dota, if you love the fighting game community, they are there to help you. Alongside this, they're also the biggest game retailer, I believe, in the world as far as brick and mortar stores go. They are across Europe, unfortunately not in the UK. And NA, they will fix your controllers. They'll do everything you need when it comes to games. You can get your merchandise, your cool t-shirts. So guys, please check out GameStop for any of the Matcherino quests that we have in our Alpha Pro Series. Just to reiterate, they are not sponsoring this event that I'm casting today, but our future events that I'm talking to you about. So thank you to GameStop. We really appreciate you. We are now going to be loading in to map 5, I believe. Yes, we are. So I will see you on map 5 as Innovation takes on Zest. And here we are. In the bottom right, playing for Team Rec. In the red, it is Innovation. And winning the last 2 maps. In the top left, he is absolutely the best right now. It is Zest. Now, as you know, I am casting from a feed, or if you don't know, I am casting from a feed, so I am not observing, so I can't do any fun camera tricks. But he's up there in the northwest. Now, Innovation, obviously a phenomenal player. Zest has managed to beat him recently, in fact, yesterday. This was the final match as well, with Zest taking the win against Innovation in the macro game. Zest also beating Maru earlier today. I expect we will see another good, strong 15 to 20 minute game. Let's certainly hope so. This is possibly, if Zest wins this, the final game of today. He is going to come across and try and be frustrating with this probe. And make sure also Innovation isn't proxying. Innovation has thrown a proxy out every now and then. Zest does block off that Reaper wall just to slow down any vision and that first Reaper, which is now coming out. Zest now trying to slow down the command center with this probe. By no means using it as a brick probe, as I like to call them, when they just go into your main and just stand there, just like waiting to be told what to do. Zest very active with his, the opposite of a brick probe. I don't know what the opposite of a brick is. No idea. Everything opening very normal in this game. We do have that Cybernetics core before Nexus for a quick adept. Can be used to defend against the Reaper or to go across the map if he so chooses. Usually it is used as a defensive tool. The adept is able to shade after the Reaper, and we have seen it's a very clever play. Catch out Reapers in the past with that shade. Zest had 4 in gas, and that really upsets me. Now the Reaper is going to be followed. The shade will complete, and the Reaper is just going to tippy-toe his way away. We'll probably try and jump on this high ground here. No, okay, he does not. This Reaper from Innovation, very, very active, just trying to find a way in. We do see the Twilight Council has gone down for Zest, so he has not swayed from what has worked so well for him. Generally opening a blink. And getting a lot of damage done. Behind this, Innovation has gone for his factory. No very, very fast CC from what I have seen. That was fun to say. And Zest continuing to add on another gateway. I think Zest is the person who goes 2 gateways on 2 bases and then adds in 6 instead of going 3 and adding on 5. Just a small variation there. We may see a difference. I could be wrong, but I think that's the way he has been playing. Innovation obviously has no idea what he's against right now, so has to set up for possible oracles and things like that. That's why we're seeing a Widow Mine, where that Widow Mine is going, and Marines in that mineral line. But it is Blink, there are Stalkers on the way. And Zest just playing a very defensive, very solid game. Zest does go in with that hallucination just to make sure he's not playing against anything super funky. He does see that second Rax being added, gives it away that he's definitely playing against Bio. And Zest feels comfortable enough to take his third base at the 4-minute 5-second point, or 4-minute 4-second point. 404, Innovation not found. That was a bad joke. There is a Widow Mine drop. Zest saw it the second it started. His blink will be almost done by the time this hits. Zest certainly shouldn't be taking damage from this. He has seen everything. He knows exactly what this drop is. As for where it's going to come, obviously he doesn't know that. It is going to come up to the main here. Zest does see it with this probe. Very nice. That probe was sent purely to scout for that. And because of this, Innovation isn't going to commit. Absolutely phenomenal defense there by Zest. That drop can completely change a game. No matter how good you are, you see those big Widow Mine shots on minerals. On miners. And Zest takes no damage. And as a Terran player now, you start to get a little bit scared. Because you really do want to do a little bit of damage to your opponent. On top of that, Innovation has seen nothing. The Medevac didn't get in, the Reaper didn't get in. I'm not certain if he has scanned the main. I haven't seen one come down. But Innovation is playing relatively standard, so it's not too bad. Another hallucination here comes in from Zest. Sees that Widow Mine drop. Wow. Can presume he does also see the Raven, which is nice. It's a relatively standard tool to have, but nice to get that information here. And I just feel like Zest is so on top of his game today. he has that free base now, getting very, very efficiently mined. He's adding on all those extra gateways. He's getting immortals. He's getting shields he's getting armor, sorry, for those charge zealots, so they can take those few extra shots. And his composition is very, very good. That blink was interesting. I think he just blinked into a wall. I've done that many a time. As you can see, all the extra gates now, 6 extra gates being added on there for Zest. So he did stay on the 2 gates early and now goes up to 8. And this is generally where we see Zest move out and start to be the aggressor with a Warp Prism or something like that. If he can find the right fight, as he has previously been doing, whilst getting a 4th base and a Storm and things behind it, he's certainly not afraid to punish. Now, we do have a lot of units for innovation right now. Zest sees them the second they leave the main. He will immediately blink away after trying to pick off just 1 or 2 of these Marines. Everything helps. Zealot legs will be done, and there are a lot of Zealots being morphed in. More gateways from Zest finishing off too. And this is nice, you know, Zest wants to slow this push down. He wants to send this army a little bit backseas and forthseas. Every Marine he picks off is a Marine that he doesn't have to deal with his main army in just a moment. He does have no AoE, which is a little bit scary against this many Marines. Innovation is now moving out. Zest's very much down on army supply. He goes for another warp in, but I am a little bit scared right now. The anti-armor missile, that Dorito cannon, does connect. And Innovation has a lot of units right now. Zest is looking for a flank. Very, very nice. He's been very successful with these, but his 3rd base is under fire. The force field's very good. Catches a few of these Marines and Marauders pretty early. The flank coming... Oh, it's not going to be a flank. It's going to be... Oh, no, it is. Zest has caught a lot of the reinforcements. Another huge anti-armor missile does hit, and with those Widow Mines following up, the Immortals immediately fall. Zest is forced to pull workers, and Innovation has taken a huge supply lead right now. All those Immortals falling, and plus all those workers as well, means Innovation has found the fight he needs. It does look like Innovation's ahead. We see the mule drop by Innovation. That's what I like to see. Innovation takes a 3-2, and Zest is eliminated. Whew, that cheeky boy. So, Innovation now will be playing against SOS or herO. We will have only TVPs for the remainder of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you like to see some Protosses, and I hope you like to see some Terrans. We will now wait to see if it is going to be SOS or herO himself. herO yesterday on an absolute tear did defeat 3 players. We haven't seen that much of SOS actually in this tournament. I can't think of many games, but it's certainly exciting. We already have a better result than yesterday. The game's already closer. I'm just checking Twitter as we wait for the next game. I'm pretty hungry. Just thought I'd let you guys know that too. I hope everyone's doing well. It stopped raining here, so that's nice. I can walk my dog when we're finished. We'll wait for the next player, guys. I am just, you know, enjoying it. Having a nice time, waiting to see who it's going to be. Will it be herO or will it be SOS? I think it'll be SOS. That's my prediction. herO saving himself as the ace. Who knows if I'm right, who knows if I'm wrong. I certainly don't yet. Korean co-commentators looking very excited right now. JYP and friends. Does look like we are loading into the map. So I will see you guys there. See if it is SOS or herO. And guys, I was correct. It is SOS. SOS is the blue Protoss. You can't tell he is currently playing on a barcode, but it is SOS as our overlay hints. Very, very exciting. We haven't seen too much of SOS. $$, $. One of the absolute best players in the history of StarCraft 2. He's made a bucket load of money. And he will be going against Innovation. This is a GSL Finals caliber match right here, guys. In fact, it may even well have been a GSL Finals. I can't remember. Memory not my strong suit. Both players are going to be opening standard again. No differences from last game. SOS is going for that gateway. No Forge. You don't see that too much against Terrans unless you're watching my stream anyway. Followed by... Is he actually going to... he's checking actually for proxies and his natural. This is a very short map here on Cyberforce. Yeah, why not? It's not Kairos. Must be Cyberforce. SOS certainly not wanting to die to anything very early. Instead, he is looking to do something early himself. We will most likely see that proxy Stargate from this location. It is quite a short distance across this map with the Oracle, so you can certainly look to get some damage done there. There is also the possibility of hiding like a Twilight Council and a Dark Shrine. We've seen that from in EU from time to time. For now, everything looking very normal. The Nexus not down is a bit of a tell that something is different. It is that proxy Twilight Council. And I do believe that Innovation will scout now to see what he can find. He will... When you first see this, I think your first response is, oh, it's probably proxy Stargate. So a little bit different. Does add on a bunker straight away, in case there is just like a proxy gateway or something like that. It's nice to see that SOS is going to try and hide his tech a little bit. The Adept does come across and picks off that SCV. And once this Twilight Council finishes, we'll have to wait and see what it is. It's going to be Blink, but just in a hidden location, trying to keep it a secret. Innovation has to play very scared now. He has to be prepared for Oracles or for even Dark Templars. Proxy Robo is a possibility, although not from that location so much. He is going to come across now, it looks like, and see it. We'll have to see what this Reaper chooses to do. The Adept is going to slow down any mining on the natural. Innovation actually choosing to just go into the main. I don't think this Reaper is going to see too much. In fact, it could... No, it will survive. 2 more shots left in its lucky little life. No SCVs currently down at this natural is certainly nice for SOS. He has now shaded out. He doesn't want to lose the early Adept. But he bought himself some time. The Adept now going to cross pass with the Reaper, neither of them exchanging pleasantries. And moving across the map. Reaper now coming in. Actually a very interesting time for this Reaper. If it can get a worker, it does get the one. Will it get another? The Adept now here, and the Stalker will come to clean this up. But getting a worker kill that late is nice. You know, you really don't anticipate it. Now we do have a very, very aggressive proxy pylon here from SOS. SOS is making Stalkers. His Blink is nearly done. There are Widow Mines out, which obviously isn't the best response to Blink. It is going to be a Widow Mine drop. He will see this proxy pylon though. And I'd be a little scared if I was Innovation seeing that right now. If these Stalkers catch this drop as well, and they will, Blink is not yet done, so I don't think they will get the kill. But these Widow Mines are now out in no man's land. The Blink is done. One of these Widow Mines will fall. And the second one in a little bit of trouble too. Now the tank is out, and the tanks are very important. Actually, choosing just to run this Widow Mine in the old-fashioned way, it does die. Good effort there by Innovation. I love to see a Widow Mine run. A few Marines will go down, and actually I think there's room here for Innovation, possibly to for SOS even, to go around to the north and start picking up the worker line. So far not committing, probably doesn't want to lose any of his units that quick. He is instead just going to blink out. But SOS is looking good. Both of these players currently supply blocked, very interesting. It's got a big one here. Oh no, Innovation did break it quicker. The first observer goes down, the second one is just too far out of reach. This tank will be useful. If you can pick it off, that's nice. You want to keep the tank count nice and low. It allows him to get in and do a little bit more. He will eventually be able to blink away, trying to take as little damage right now as possible. Going to blink one Stalker at a time. Final 2 do leave. The Banshee going across the map, I don't know if that was seen. It would have been very, very close on the edge of the vision. Innovation certainly thinks it is, and the Banshee dies. He is going to trade a couple of Stalkers for that Banshee, but again, SOS is stopping the harassment tools of Innovation. Behind this, his third base is up. I don't think Innovation has even started his third yet. Innovation being contained quite hard by this Blink Stalker play. Will lose a couple of workers, maybe just a one. And again, blinks one unit out at a time, and then a couple at the end. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that one Stalker does go down, slightly mispathed there by SOS. More and more Stalkers are the choice, and behind this we do have that Robotics Bay coming down for SOS. And although, sure, he's not ahead particularly in workers or things like that, he's certainly making things happen in this game. He has a question, if he can snipe combat shields, that's a very nice upgrade to get. Stim is also somewhere, it is further back. Innovation certainly smart. Losing Stim at this point in the game can just be game ending. The tank now sieges up, but 4 more workers went down during that, and that's 4 workers that Innovation really wants, he really needs. Gonna pick off another tank by the looks of things. Yep, another tank goes down. This bunker will fall. SOS is all over Innovation, and Innovation needs to win this game. I can't overstate enough, guys. If Innovation loses, him and Team Maru only get 3rd place. And this is a team that were the favourite coming into the season. The winning team do go up to the Grand Finals against Team Classic, but Innovation really needs this win. His 3rd CC, I still don't think has started. This could be a big SCV pool coming out of Innovation at some point, but there's already Colossus out, and you don't want to SCV pool against Colossus. They make those worker boys that disappear very quickly. Now, the Widow Mines do get picked off. Every unit counts here for SOS. Concussive Shell's still not done. It is quite late, especially with what he's been playing against. These Marines and Marauders are going to try and chase the Stalkers down, but the Blink does come back up. They're going to keep going the whole way. Innovation scans and sees that 3rd, and immediately I think if I'm Innovation, I'm like, oh my lord, that's done. That's really scary. I do think Innovation has to do something. He has to be aggressive here. He has such an army supply lead. And SOS is supply blocked. He is moving across the map, but there are Colossus already out. Only one. The second one is very close. SOS continues to try and find 1 or 2 units whenever he can. Colossus now going to join the army. Innovation does have a lot here, though. The second Colossus is not in position. There are not many force fields, just 2. Picks off a couple of units. These Zealots do not have Zealot charge either, so this is certainly a good push right now for Innovation. His army supply is very, very large. The force fields continue to be frustrating. And I do think SOS is going to be able to hold this without too many problems. Extended Thermal Lance is only 3 seconds away. There are batteries here too to keep these Colossus alive. A lot of Marauders starting to prove a little bit difficult here. The second Colossus just joined the fray. The Widow Mines do not manage to get great shots off, and this is now going to be pushed back. 2 Colossus mean, I believe, at the end of this push. The 3rd one is cancelled and remade. Kind of interesting here, as I think SOS thought this push was over. Zealot charge still not done is frustrating. I'm very surprised to see that. But this is now being chased down, and SOS has taken a supply lead. He's up 15 workers in this game. SOS looking so strong, trying to pick off every unit can. Zealot legs is done. I apologise. I didn't see it on the tab earlier. Mistakes were made by this British commentator. Now, SOS is still very active on the map. If you can catch a couple of these medevacs, this is really nice. 2 medevacs immediately full, and that's more of a sustain, more of this army being picked off at. Innovation is going to try and stim on top of this. He's going to try and drop those Widow Mines as well, closer to the forces. A few Zealots and things do go down. There is still good detection here, so these Widow Mines not going to be a threat with that Colossus range. Innovation trying to find an angle. SOS now up nearly 15 supply. Sure, he is still down in army supply, but his army very, very efficient, very strong. These Colossus beams shredding through like the first Resident Evil film. All of these Marines and Marauders. I do think Innovation might be in trouble. SOS is starting to push through. Innovation is going to pick up and hightail it out of there. More medevacs do go down. More units get caught as well. GG! SOS takes Team herO to the Grand Finals of the BJ Destruction Team League. We did it, team. We made it to the finals. That is the final game of today, guys. I don't believe even in this playoff stage that there are any resurrections or anything like that. We are just going to hold on a second, just in case there is any different format that we missed out on. Obviously, this is being done entirely in Korean. We're just sort of figuring it out as we go along. I do believe that is today's show. Unfortunately, we had some really, really good games. I would have liked to obviously have been going all day with you people. Thank you so much to all that did join me. We had a really solid number of people watching this today. This tournament hasn't been advertised particularly well in the West. We've tried, but it's very difficult. I'm glad you guys got to see some great games. My Korean friends are looking very intently as I drink lemonade. Lots of people are starting to drop off from the Korean stream. Makes me think that probably is all of today's show. And that is it. I have now seen that the result, this is over. There were no resurrections or anything, even in this playoff stage. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Once again, please check out Alpha sponsors. And if you have just a minute, I am at GrantSC2. My real name is Grant. Just Grant. Please throw me a follow on Twitter or Twitch. I really would appreciate it. I'd appreciate all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you tomorrow, I believe, is the grand finals. I am going to double check that. Yes, tomorrow indeed is the grand finals. I think it is 1 hour earlier, but we will double check. Please check out Alpha's Twitter, Funk, where we tweet exactly when we are going live. Tomorrow we will have Team Classic against Team herO. So just to reiterate, tomorrow we will have Classic, Impact, Ragnarok and Solar against herO, SOS, Zest and Fantasy. Some incredible games there, lots of Protoss, lots of Zerg, just the one Terran thrown in for luck. I will see you guys then. Have a lovely day. Enjoy whatever weather you have, wherever you are. My name is Grant, and I'll see you tomorrow.